And just in case you saw it, we are live now on my server, but we are not live for the public yet. Just so don't be alarmed by the live notification at the top of the screen. Alrighty. All right, I see you're both there. I've got just a title card up in place. I'm going to take us live right at 4:20. I'll just double check to make sure that we're live. We're going to be live on Facebook and as well as on the Deadheadland YouTube channel. And I'll just check to make sure things are live. And then I'm going to switch from this title card to my screen and chat for just a minute or two and then introduce the two of you. So we'll talk first about primarily about the Psychedelics record, and then we'll talk about the Soundfield record. But feel free, since you two are friendly and easy with each other, to chime in. Just remember that on Zoom, that if you kind of cut into somebody, you have to give them a minute to hear that, because it clips our voices a little bit. So, but let it be friendly and conversational. So, and we'll see where it goes.
Hi, Deb. I can't hear you.
There we go. You hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can. I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. It's just really, it's 2 weeks and it feels like 2 years.
It does.
Oh.
I was in absolute heaven with you guys and Marin. That was just fucking great.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I am right with you, man. It's like.
And Deb, this is Keelan. This is the head engineer.
Hi, Keelan. How you doing? It's my bass player and husband behind me, Nick, over there. It's gonna be a while before you need to do that.
Yeah.
He's perching on my covered large 100-watt Boss amplifier, mostly because I stole his seat, and then realized that if I sat down, the camera was going to not even catch the top of my head because it's pointed up toward the microphone. So I'm just going to stand until it's time to play. Then I'm going to stand some more.
Perfect. All right. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody, and we'll be live in just a couple of minutes there.
Perfect.
Hey everybody, give me just a minute here. Make sure, okay, I'm unmuted and we are live here. We're live here on the Deadheadland television channel. Welcome everybody, so glad to have you here. My name's Happy Cat, if you didn't know that already. And we've got a different little show for you today. I'm going to be doing a little interview with some friends of mine here. Deb Grabien of the band The Soundfield, and Lauren Murphy of Lauren Murphy and the Psychedelics. And we've got all sorts of cool stuff to talk about, their new records and all. And I'm just picking my office view right here. I think I'll stay in San Francisco there. Anyways, we're going to talk about their records. We're going to hear some songs from them. I first had an announcement I wanted to make to everybody. I wanted to let you know that we have a real special show coming up on 4/20. I know you guys have been enjoying Crazy Fingers playing from South Florida, and we're going to do a special Crazy Fingers 4/20 show. So they're going to be our big band at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Crazy Fingers here on 4/20. We've got some other surprises coming up too on the Deadheadland show, but just wanted to let you know about that. And coming up a little bit later today, we've got Stu Allen. Stu Allen's going to be playing at probably at 6 o'clock. I don't know if he's going to be doing a duet or not like he did last night, but be sure to stay tuned for that. And so that's the announcements. That's what's going on, what's coming up in the near future. Of course, our regular stream schedule is going to be continuing for the immediate future, the indefinite future, for as long as people want to keep playing and other people want to keep watching. Okay, the reason we're here today are some friends of mine, Lauren Murphy and Deb Gravian, and I'm just going to introduce the two of them right now. Lauren and Deb, go ahead and unmute your mics and say hi to the folks here at Deadheadland.
There we go. Hi, folks in Deadheadland, all you socially distant streaming people in the universe. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, Deb, great to see you, and welcome, and glad you're here, and I checking in, making sure everybody can hear us out there in Deadheadland, but I'm pretty sure they can. Great to see you. Very good, and Lauren as well. We've got Lauren Murphy here. Hi, Lauren. Hey, you gotta unmute your microphone to say hi, or we don't see you. That's how it works on the Zoom. So
There it is.
hey, hi, how are you? Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so this is great. It's great to have both of you here, and what's really cool is that you kind of exemplify what a lot of people have done in the last year, was that you had to stay put where you were. So it seems to me you buckled down and went to the studio and you made some music, did some recording, and both of you have new albums out, and they're separate albums, two separate projects, but you're both good friends, which is part of why we have you here together and have worked together. I know you did a show just a week ago, streaming from or 2 weeks ago, streaming from the Sweetwater, where you actually got to debut and play the music from these albums. So, and now we're going to share a little bit here with the Deadheadland crowd. So anyways, welcome. Good to see both of you.
Pleasure, Brian. Thanks.
Yeah, very good. So I'm going to start with Lauren a little bit. I just have to say, I got your record. I have both of them here, and does it show up on the Zoom thing? There we go. There we go. The name of this, I don't know if it's showing very well. I should have had a screenshot for it, but it's Psychedelics. And I just love the name. Well, so let's just start there. Tell us about the record. Tell us why you chose that as the name.
Cool. The name of my band down here in the South, I moved here, it's going to be 6 years ago this June. Before that, my late husband, Judge Murphy, who sang with Zero, we were in Northern California for almost 20 years. So moving here, you don't miss your water till your well runs dry, and I miss the psychedelic sound of Northern California. And I was doing my little folk girl solo stuff, and I still do. I really enjoy it. But I wanted to put together a band. So when we were thinking about a band name, we were doing Jefferson Airplane covers, Quicksilver covers, Grateful Dead covers, Zero tunes. Gosh, a lot of the stuff, Big Brother and the Holding Company, and we were throwing in my originals. And then I went, well, let's just call is the name Psychedelics taken? And I Googled it, and nobody, lo and behold, had the band name the Psychedelics. Like, there was Psychedelic Furs, there's Psychedelic this, that, and the other, but so it seemed a no-brainer. And when
That was
we
a
went
good
to
hit.
yeah, literally.
Great. All right. So Psychedelics is the name of the band. It's Lauren Murphy and the Psychedelics. And
Yeah.
tell us about the band. Who are the players?
The band is fantastic. Winter Baines on drums, who actually lived in San Anselmo. And when he walked through my front door to play drums for me, he was brought to us from one of our guitar players, John Cochran, who's on the CD. I looked at him and I said, "You look familiar." He said, "Yeah, I met you at the Maritime Hall. I used to live in San Anselmo. Don't you remember me?" It was just an absolute trip. But he's Mobile, Alabama, born and raised. John Kyler is on bass and background vocals. John Cochran was doing our lead guitar work for 4 years, but he has gone on to pursue teaching. He's a jazz professor, as well as booking of concerts. Still a dear friend of mine, but we've replaced him in our live shows with a local player, Jeremy Alt, who is unfortunately not on the CD, but the guy has got tone, and wow. We also had John's cousin, Drew Smithers, happened by. I'm coming to you live from Dauphin Street Sound here in Mobile, where we made the record, and this was founded by former San Francisco pitcher Jake Peavy, number 22.
Okay.
So there's posters around here, Brex Foundation, Dave Hunter posters, Sweetwater posters, Jackie Green posters. Little bit of the Bay is right here with me right now, which is damn cool.
Right. I remember when Jake came out here, did the Rex Benefit show and did some stuff with Phil and Graham and stuff. And so, yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So there's a great connection there. And also, my neighbor just up the street here, Mark Karen, as I understand, produced the album.
He did. It was so awesome to fly Mark in and to have him meet my people and meet Jake, meet the Dauphin Street Sound crew. We did a bunch of shows together. I got to show him the beach. And I really needed Mark. Mark, this is our 4th record we've done together. Deb Grabien, who's also, on the stream with us with her husband, Nick, and their band, The Soundfield. This is the 2nd record I've sang background for them. Mark plays lead guitar on her record. Mark played lead guitar on my last record, which was a tribute to Judge when he passed away. So I needed somebody who was a little bit heavier than myself in the music industry, that had a little more, a little more weight to help me guide my boys down here. A couple of these fellows had never stepped in a professional studio. Some of my musicians had, and they were seasoned. But I needed a co-pilot that was strong and could help me steer the ship. And boy, he did a great job. And he plays some mean lead guitar on it as well.
Oh, great. Yeah, Mark's a great man for the job there, certainly. And I get you guys have a very good working relationship there, so that really helps, I'm sure. And just for those folks that don't know, then your late husband was Judge Murphy, who sang with Zero, and you also do a Zero song. You do Catalina, which happens to be written by Robert Hunter as well on this album. And you also do another Robert Hunter song as well, correct?
Yeah, we do End of the World Blues. I did not realize, Happy Cat, until I moved down here, how much of an influence Hunter, Zero, Kimmock, Greg Anton, those guys really made a lasting imprint on my artistic style. So this is kind of a way for me to keep the flame going. After I was hoping that Hunter would live long enough to hear this, but unfortunately he did not. And I think Hunter's material is timeless, regardless if that's his solo work or stuff he wrote with Jerry or for the Dead, or the stuff he worked up with Tom Russell. Wow.
I'm a big fan of all the undiscovered, not undiscovered, but unknown Hunter stuff, unknown to most Deadheads. That he has so much work beyond the Grateful Dead, and there's so much wonderful stuff out there. Different people that he collaborated with. So yeah, there's a lot more Robert Hunter than the songs that we all know, very well, and it's all such good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is, and I want to continue that. And my hopes was, maybe it'll turn somebody else on, a new generation, on to some Robert Hunter stuff, and because he really is, he's an American treasure.
Absolutely, and his music definitely reaches. Has the potential, I think, to reach beyond just again the expected community, the Deadheads. So often somebody will hear his song in a different context and they'll, oh really, that's a Grateful Dead song? It's such beautiful, it's Americana, it's our music. So great. So are there a lot of people there in Mobile that know Grateful Dead, familiar with Robert Hunter? It's not just that you're bringing it there, but there's already people that know it, or I mean,
there are a crazy amount of Deadheads down here. It's wild.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Oh, that's
I feel like
great.
I'm in good company. And we also, I was just talking to the lead engineer here that helped me set up this whole thing so we could stream, Keelan Laxton. There's so many scenes here in Mobile. He did a hip-hop session earlier. He did a symphony orchestra session. He's doing country work. He's doing jazz work. He's working with, people that are, kids that are 13, 14, 15. There's so many scenes going on in Mobile. We're really an up-and-coming city as far as music. They actually just got their first gold record. It's hanging on the wall. So.
Oh, that's awesome! Congratulations! And it's great. Not everybody needs to like the same thing. I mean, that's why there's 31 flavors, darn it. So I'm glad to hear that there's so much creativity happening and there are so many different types of music. If everybody just did covers of Friend of the Devil, it would get old quick. But
Right.
yeah. That said, I've been listening to your record the last few days, and I really did like the cover of Catalina. It was great, and the whole record really good. It's rich sounds, really, great produced, great songs. So I've been really enjoying your record, and I wholeheartedly can recommend it to everybody to go out there and to listen to it. You can listen to it on all the streaming platforms. You can get it on it's laurenmurphymusic.com, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and I'll be sure to post that link up and get some information at you. We're going to come back in just a little bit and listen to you play a few songs for us. But let's check in with Deb over there. And so, Deb, I know there's some, I was just talking to you about this before we went live, there's some connection here between you and Lauren and between your two records. And you mentioned one of the things was, well, Mark Caron's on both, but also keyboardist Henry Salvia that plays on both.
Yep. I worked on the first Soundfield CD, The Bucket List, and we had 4 songs from Pete Sears. Mookie Siegel played on 3. Superb piano players. Ben Montench was supposed to be playing the piano on Ghost because he owned the piano that is actually mentioned in the song. And as we were about to set that session up in his music room, because you can't really just pick up a 7.5 foot, Hammond Mason and just load it in the back of your Prius or whatever. We had set everything up to get it done, and the phone rang, and off they went. And it turned out to be Tom Petty's last tour, his final tour. But the album could not wait any longer, so Pete stepped in, gave us some fabulous piano. On this one, though, I cannot say enough about Henry, but I can sum him up in one amazing little back and forth. One of my running buddies for a long time, Peter Beagle, writer who wrote The Last Unicorn, among other things, asked if we would play a show where he lives. It's a community, and all masked up and everything else. It was my first try at singing through a mask, and it was like outdoors with the BART train rumbling by overhead, and we said, sure, why not? So I emailed Henry, and this was back in October. I emailed Henry and I said, hi, this is just a little 1-hour set, etc. You up for doing this? This is so Henry. He said, absolutely. He goes, what's the date though? And I told him and he said, oh good, yeah, I can do that, no problem. I was afraid it would run into my Metallica gig. He wasn't kidding. He went and played, the Salesforce or somebody had hired Metallica to come and play 2 sets for a global audience, the big expensive stream. And Henry was their piano player for both sets. So yeah, sure, I'll come and play Under the Rumbling Bar Train because I like the songs. Yeah, no problem. Just, as long as it doesn't run into my Metallica gig because I promised. Okay, that's Henry, and it's like no big deal. And he sits down, and our engineer Vadim Canby, who I just love, summed him up. He said, "You just get Henry into a studio, sit him down, and just say, do your Henry thing. That's it. Magic happens." I think Lauren can attest to that too. Yes.
Absolutely. He's amazing and so versatile.
Right. It's just, yeah, he was the only piano player the only keyboard player that I wanted to work with on this. And Lauren and I also share Mark. I'm sure Mark is preening himself somewhere. Ooh, they're going to share me. Seriously.
I can hear him saying that.
Ooh, well then. Seriously, I met Mark in 2006 at a New Riders show. We discussed the evils of nothing but single coil guitars. But he has a CD coming out very soon as well. Mm-hmm. It's his second solo CD, and I'm putting in a plug for it here for reasons of love because he's Mark, and it's going to be amazing because he's an amazing musician. The CD is called "Welcome to Your Life," which is the opening line from a song called "Rollin' It," which is one of 4 that he and I co-wrote on his upcoming CD. So, yay, Mark! He's all over both CDs of ours. He's all over the bucket list. And by the way, the new CD isn't "The Moment of the Storm"; it's "This Moment of the Storm."
Ah.
This.
Oh, my error there.
I should have double checked. Yeah, but just to make it easier to look for, "This Moment of the Storm."
This Moment of the Storm. Yeah. Well, very good. That's This Moment of the Storm, and your band is the Soundfield, and you guys have a few albums out already. And it's a core 3-piece, and then you have other players sit in. Is that what?
Yeah, this is power trio, so to speak, if you not in quite the traditional definition of that word, but power trio. But mostly, when we play live, depending on just how big the stage is or how big the room is or whatever, I immediately, if Lauren was still local, I'd be dragging her butt out for every show because I love my angel choir. I do, fortunately, luckily, have Henry's amazing wife, life partner, and bandmate, Kathleen Salvia, who also sings on the album, and she and Lauren were the angel choir at a live show. But I pick up the phone and I call Henry and I call Mark. Mm-hmm. And unless there's a conflict in dates, I usually get both of them, which is fabulous because they make me sound so much better than anybody else can, except maybe Nick back there.
Nick, we should say Nick back there. Hi, Nick, is your bass player and partner.
Bass player since 1976, since December 1976. And a quick overlap here with the story on Hunter. We're going to be already talking to Vadim about this. He's texted me going, ooh. But we're going to be covering a seriously not well-known tune of Bob's. Nobody else ever recorded it but him. And he was never really comfortable with his own vocal on it. He never quite... That happens sometimes. Lauren also will attest to that. You write a song, and then no matter what, it never crawls into your lap completely and lets you pet it. And you have to fight it. And it's kind of the vibe I always got from this. But we're going to be covering for the next CD and live shows, we're going to be doing one of Hunter's songs called Ariel, which is one of the single most visual, visceral, terrifying things he ever wrote. And if we're talking about a timeless lyric, that's one of them. But nobody else ever recorded that. And I saw him do it live back in around 1977, 78 at the old Green Earth Cafe with his band Roadhog. Uh-huh. The overlap there is that we stole his lead guitar player. A couple of years later, Jeff Dambro, who's brilliant, left Roadhog and came and played with us for a couple of years. So, it's the local music community is, you could, as another piano player I knew and loved very much once put it, he said, you could fit the entire Bay Area music community on your thumbnail, and you flicked it like that, and said, you still have room for craft services. He wasn't wrong. Tight knit community.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's it's interesting because these CDs and were shared with me when they came out. I guess a little bit before they came out through Dennis McNally, and he as soon as I looked at them, I'm like, oh, okay, I know most of the people on these, and yeah, it is where there's a lot of like crossover, and it's a good thing. I think that's part of what makes it such a creative scene is that people they're comfortable with each other. They know how to work with each other. They're friends. It's very supportive, and I think we feel that in the music. So. And then also on drums you have Larry Ludy, who's been I've known him for many years, and
he is the Soundfields drummer and plays with everybody and anybody out there. Keeps his hand in all different kinds of music. I write very structured songs. I'm not actually a jam band girl. Because I'm a storyteller. I'm a novelist. So for me, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that can take 9 minutes. But it's a journey. It's a there to there to there, and I'm into structure. So we don't go off for 4-minute noodles in my song. So poor Larry, who really likes doing the jam band thing. Yay! He gets to go out and play with local jam bands and do that. And it as a musician, it not only makes him happy, it keeps him fresh. It's something it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of both. I like when there's structure, and I also like when there's healthy exploration. The Explorers Club. So there's definitely room for both. Yeah. So what else would you like to tell us about the record, or maybe it's time that we should start to hear some music?
Well, I should probably mention David Lindley's presence on both CDs.
Yeah, David Lindley, by all means, yes.
Yeah. He's on 4 songs on the bucket list, which was the first one, including a wonderful Keith Christmas song called Fable of the Wings, which about 3 days before Lindley drove up to do that first session said, work up an arrangement, and we'll just cover it at the end. And I'm going, what? So I hunted Keith down and got his permission, and we did, in fact, work up an arrangement, record it live in the studio, which was just amazing. And David was up here again. We were supposed to have him on 5 songs. He did the first session in October, 3 songs, which are on This Moment of the Storm, and he was supposed to come up at the end of February, and COVID intervened. But we have him on pedal steel on 2 of the songs on what I call T-Mots, because This Moment of the Storm is a mouthful, and on a cover of Steve Earle's Copperhead Road, which I am now credibly informed he very much liked, this version. I girled it up, and I'm playing my Baglama saz as the main rhythm instrument, and David is playing his Irish bouzouki with all the extra frets on it. I've watched Steve Kimmock going, oh, looking at that instrument. Oh, microtones, because you can't get them off a Western scale. Can't do it. That's it. So we had all these metal frets put into this Irish bouzouki. I have not yet done that to mine. I'm keeping mine as is. But so we have him on, and we have him on lap steel for 2 songs as well. So it's a good thing. It's a shout out to David and Joni and Roseanne, and hope the entire Lindley family is doing well and recovering.
Yeah, and well, and haven't really been mentioning that, but again, COVID kind of changed everything for everybody, and gave people time to focus on finishing some studio work and stuff. But as things are starting to shift and people are getting vaccinated and things are opening up, do you have plans? I know you would want to take this live. Are there any shows planned? Is there anything coming up for either of you? Are you doing any kind of live stuff yet?
Lauren, you first.
Yeah, actually, I've got the CD release here. This is going to be it's another club owned founded by the Peavies here in Mobile, Cedar Street Social Club. We're doing our official CD release on Saturday, May 15th. We're gonna have Molly Thomas on that, and she toured in Todd Snyder's band, and she actually produced the bonus track on the CD. Plays multiple instruments. Molly's a badass. And I'm doing some solo shows. People are getting vaccinated. They actually just opened up ages 16 and up in Alabama. And our mask mandate expires tomorrow. So here we go. It's time. Things are opening up. Billy Strings is playing Sunday, and it's 1/3 capacity at, I think it's at Hank Aaron Stadium or something, and everybody's in pods. So that should be interesting. I'm not going to go because it's a school night, but that CD release on Saturday, May 15th, down here in Mobile, Alabama, at Cedar Street Social Club. I'm stoked about.
Very good.
And I hope to come out and be with Deb again soon.
Yes, please. You might even be able to talk. You might even be able to talk me into. Okay, as long as I don't have to actually be in a crowd, I'm fine to stand over here and play for them. But I really honestly doubt that I'm ever going to feel completely comfortable in a crowd again. And I've been completely vaccinated for a month. I know a little bit too much about epidemiology throughout the ages to be really comfortable with this yet. But I mean, we have a gig at the Lost Church that's coming up this summer, and talking to I cannot mention the name of the venue, but it's over in the East Bay, and the new manager in charge of it really wants the Soundfield to come and play there, and probably Mark as well, so with his own band. So we'll see about setting that up, and I can ease my toe back into, okay, if everybody's going to stand 20 feet back, that's great. Anybody tries to hug me, you die bloody. It's like, no. It's not comfortable with the crowd thing yet. But I like the idea of 1/3 capacity in pods. Mm-hmm. And as long as they've got a really just a 1, 2, 3, we are on it, we don't mess it up way of getting people into and out of the venue. Somebody mentioned, I think it was the Eagles coming up at Shoreline, and I'm going, oh, hell to the power of no.
Shoreline's a nightmare, period.
How
it is.
You'd be letting people in starting at 8:00 in the morning, and the last person would be able to get out to their car at about 5 a.m. the next day in order to be safe. There's no way into and out of Shoreline where that makes any sense at all. Yeah. It's like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No.
I have to say, I agree. I like the idea of the pod shows and the reduced capacity, the drive-in shows that a lot of places did last year, things like that. I think that's just my idea, is probably a good idea for a little bit. I'm not ready to jump into big crowds yet myself, but maybe kind of easing into it, like you said, toe in the water, and these smaller scale things are a good idea. I, done some of my little shows in the backyard where I actually have a creek that separates the band from the audience, which is great. My neighbors have kind of asked me to only do acoustic shows.
Well, I mean, the other thing you can do on that, Lauren, what do you think of this? It's like, basically, you want to let an audience in? No problem. Make the extra time and have everybody have their vaccination card.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hi. I got my second Pfizer shot on March 2nd. You're cool to go.
Yeah.
If you're not vaccinated, you don't get in. It's just, that's safety. It's not
especially
snobbery.
Outdoor places. When you've got someplace outdoors when you're able to control the amount of people and the spaces. I even did a house concert during, we were locked down March 13th to April 13th. Alabama's been, as we know, a little bit different. Not as liberal as Florida as far as just opening things up, but they've been a little bit less rigid about structure. But there are people that are still very conscious down here. And I did a house concert for some retirement age folks, and I thought it was really creative. We did it outside. There was one bathroom. The door was to remain open. It was on the second story. You didn't have to touch any doors or handles. There was ample sanitizing, alcohol, bleach, wipes, everything right there in reach. Everyone had to mask. And we did 10 couples in the first 45-minute shift. Everyone had their little circles of 6 feet. Everyone brought their own food, drink, chairs. No one was allowed to hug. I was way back on the stage. I was most worried about myself singing and projecting, in as far as infecting people, not getting sick. But I don't want to infect people that are in a sensitive demographic. But it worked really well, and we did 10 couples in the first 45-minute shift, and then had a 20-minute break. They all left, and then we had 10 more couples in the next 45-minute shift. And
Oh, nice.
it was really creative. It was a way to normalize stuff in such a time that seems so isolating.
Yeah, where nothing is normal, you know?
Yeah.
Well, like we were saying earlier before the show, everybody's had to come up with creative solutions to the situation. And one of those things is we figured out how to do some music live on Zoom. It's not perfect. We're not all together, but it's nice because we can have some connection there. You know, I did a big Zoom event last week where we had 135 people on at one point. So it was, closest to a crowd I've been in a long time.
Well,
Wow.
Gerald's Memorial, too. We
Yes,
did Gerald's Memorial as well, and that was like 160 people.
Right. We had quite a few people. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, very good. Well, let's switch over to some music. We're gonna start with Lauren, and Lauren, just we've already, I guess, introduced you. Let's hand the show over to you and hear a few songs from your new record.
Right on. So again, the new record is the Lauren Murphy Psychedelics. I do want to add, the cover art is done by my daughter, the beautiful child that Judge Murphy and I created. Our best collaboration ever. Liba Murphy did the cover art. She got to collaborate with Bob Minkin, so y'all can find that. And I'm gonna play 3 songs off of that for y'all. Right, I'm gonna start. This is the second song I ever wrote, and it took this long to put down in recording. And I was born and raised in the South, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And when I first saw the Pacific Ocean, I fell to my knees and wept. Did the same thing when I walked through the redwoods for the first time, and promptly came home and told my mother that I was moving. So this is called Time Across, and this is originally about the inspiration of moving to Northern California, but more importantly, it's about being a dreamer and keeping the dream alive and hope in your heart, no matter what you go through in life, no matter what suffering you go through, no matter how hard your situation is, no matter what your age is. And it quotes the line from Willy Wonka, "We are the music makers and we are the dreamers of the dreams." Across the border highway, well-known rock bed in the sky, I saw a woman weaving a basket of you and I, into the crosswinds from the hills we saw, even found Thank you.
Okay, woo!
Yeah, it's amazing it took that long to record. I think it's 20 some years to put down. I didn't know really what to do with that song. I kept getting compliments on it, and every musician that played it with me said, that's a great song, but I didn't think it would be commercially poignant. And I guess the artist is not always right. All right, I'm going to do, I guess, what would be considered the title cut off of the CD, Psychedelics. So this is Psychedelicize. The Greek root of the word psychedelic is psychedelos, and it means mind manifesting. So whatever you're thinking, folks, whatever you're putting out there, that's going to come back to you. As my mother says, my grandmother was an awfulizer. Don't be an awfulizer. Manifest your reality, y'all. I'm a big follower of Ram Dass, Dr. Richard Alpert, and it's about being one with the universe. So this is my plea to the modern world. We're very tech addicted. We're very fame and label addicted. We're substance addicted. We're numbing down the purity of soul in any way we possibly can. And so this is my plea. Y'all need to psychedelicize. So we all do. I do. Manifest the mind. Manifest the mind. I am my God. She is we. I want to be free from this human misery. Manifest the mind. Manifest the mind. We've got to psychedelicize. We've got to manifest the mind. We've got to turn hate to kind before we die. Manifest the mind. Yeah.
The sound of one hand clapping, but
Yeah. The sound of one hand clapping. All right, I'm going to make sure I'm in tune here and do one more for y'all and then hand it over to Deb and Nick of the Sound Field. My sister from another mister. Love her so much. So this is kind of the bonus track. It ended up on the CD accidentally during COVID, the initial lockdown stage. I'd written a song about a fellow that I was dating, which, warning to all you listening, if you're going to date a writer of any sort, whether that's a musician or an author, journalist, beware. You're going to end up in their work somehow. It's inevitable. So the beginning of the relationship was filled with question marks, which in retrospect, I should have paid attention to those flags. But there was some really good stuff too. And it was so good that it was a tad bit addictive. Well, so long story short, this is called My Most Deadly Sin. The relationship blew up, and this is a song about being addicted to a substance or someone that is toxic for you, but is so addictive that you have a hard time getting away from it. It's called My Most Deadly Sin. Should've known better than to tangle with you. After all, you said you were a fool. Now it's a mutual addiction, some kind of affliction, a dangerous muse. Don't light that spoon. It's like cocaine. Too good to be true, so I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop. Please don't stop. Your love feels like home. I'm home. I'm home. Your love, it takes me home to a soul. But why do I still feel cold? Yeah, it's like morphine.
so much. Wow, that's amazing.
Hey, thank you. At least I got a good song out of the relationship.
It's very funny too. It's true. If you ever are around a writer or a songwriter or something, you are going to end up in their stuff eventually. So, yeah. Well, very good. Thank you so much, and stick around for a little bit. But we're going to switch over now to 2/3 of the sound field to Deb and Nick Gravian, and take it away.
Hi there. Oh, Lauren, that was kick-ass. You picked 3 songs I really love, which she knows that. We're actually gonna try and get 4 songs in. Unlike Lauren, I'm plugged in, playing electric. This is one of my beautiful Zimatis guitars. Most people who have seen me have seen Mama Pearl. She's a thing. She's just a sassy thing. Apologies in advance for any outdoor noise. We're not in the studio. We're actually at home. So if the children that I have affectionately come to refer to as the Screechers come out on their trampoline 2 yards up, nothing I can really do about it. And if you hear a cat yelling in the background, ignore it. That's our Maine Coon claiming he hasn't been fed in a year. He lies. He's locked in the kitchen and he's pissed off. So, we're gonna start off with a song that starts off this moment of the storm. This is a song that Lauren and I co-wrote together over glasses of Prosecco up at the house at Murphy Mountain back in El Dorado. I was there the weekend that we saw a living scarab on the kitchen floor, and Lauren took it as the sign that it was time to let go of what she had there, because a lot of it had become very sad and too hard to keep up with. But before she left, we ended up in the basement room and we wrote this song, and it's Time. Take the tuner off. Here we go. Time as an abusive boyfriend and just a thief. And Lauren said, "Ooh, can't you just see him as one of those badass riverboat gamblers, ones that keep spinning the wheel? He knows the house is always going to win." And I went, "Yeah, he's Time. Of course he's always going to win." So we put this song together, and it had been dry up on Murphy Mountain for a very long time. I mean, was it the King Fire or the Rim Fire? Which King Fire? Scars were all over the mountains surrounding Lauren's house, and there just had been no rain. And we finished this song. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And Lauren went all the way upstairs, and I settled in to go to bed. And I suddenly heard her come running back down the stairs, and she flung the door open, and we opened the door to the outside, and we stood there. We wrote this song so good that we brought rain. It was raining for the first time in a good long time. As the song called It's About Time. All 4 of these songs, by the way, are on the new CD. And all 4 of them I have the support of my angel choir. So I'm going to be handling these alone. That's how it goes. I want to watch Lauren on screen and figured she's singing with me. Shout out to Holly Anton and Shelley Hunt and, of course, Kathleen Salvia. This is It's About Time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Some say time is a river. I say time is a thief. Takes you all, strips you down to the bone, and leaving nothing but sorrow and grief. And you ride that river on a big boat, 24/7 trying to stay afloat. Someone help me out, I think I'm sinking down. I'm almost out of time, and I don't intend to drown. You walking 10 miles to the casino. They point you at the roulette wheel. But to blacken all that deck of stock, and rocking you, rolling you back on your heels, and storm surge grab you by the nape of the neck. Only one corners of our holy shoulders. Your feet can't find the ground. In every mirror around every corner, time blocking the way on off of the ship, and the sun's going down and the dark is falling. Hours getting late, I can hear time calling. He says, "Pull up a chair, gonna kick off your shoes. I'm making you an offer that you can't refuse, and baby, sit down at the table. How's about one more bet? You can pull a face cut higher than time. I'll let you walk on out of here with no regrets." And power is creaking and the storms overhead. Timbers are leaking, time to leave you for dead. You can offer me caviar, drown me in kisses and booze. And I play the game that we both know that you can't lose. We're talking about bullies, time is the worst. It might not be so bad if you just kiss me first. Ooh, that was fun. I see Lauren singing over there. I was like, yeah, in my head I'm hearing you. Shout out, by the way, we shouted out earlier to Larry Luthi. And right behind me, over here, is Nick Gravian.
Hello.
We should mention that at the CD release stream that we did at the Sweetwater 2 weeks ago, the core band was the same for both acts. Lauren and I shared the same 4 players, and it was Nick on bass, and Larry on drums, and Mark on guitar, and Henry on keyboards, with Kathleen Salvia filling out the Angel Choir front row there. And Lauren, by the way, Nick was playing along with all 3 of your songs. He's played them so recently, they're right there in his forebrain. So while you were on, Nick was sitting down on the thing just noodling on the bass with the volume turned down. So it's awesome. Like, yeah. Okay, for this one I need a mouthful of water. This one is, this one's a heavy-duty song. Sugar-free grape Powerade. Breakfast of Champions. This is a song about memory that I wrote when I couldn't figure out what I was writing the song about, and it was something I had dreamed about. Again, all in the liner notes. If you've got about an hour to spare, the liner notes are online at our website, and they are abso-freaking-lutely epic. Nothing is held back. And this is a song called Across My Kitchen Door. The idea, here's it, the only thing in the world that weighs more than all the planets and black holes and everything else put together, but that never has the substance to cast a shadow, is memory. And on that level, it's all about ghosts, isn't it? This is Kitchen Door, Across My Kitchen Door. This is where the crossroads meet. 1,000 roads, not one complete. Just in the searching for the seat where sleeping dreams surround me. Nothing comes repaying tears but broken hearts, dirty blues. Walking till these well-worn shoes dissolve to dust around me. We're trapped inside a looking glass, bloodless ghosts not made to last. Your memory leaves no shadow cast across my kitchen door, across my kitchen door. And give me the breath to call your name, and give me the room to lift my hands. Go. Clouds move on, sky looks blue, still hearing rain, thunder too. And no one knows but me and you. The storm is on inside me. Rivers bleed the same last. Calm as time, smooth as glass. They carry dreams and lives long past. I let the water hide me. We're trapped inside a looking glass. Bloodless ghosts not made to last. Your memory leaves no shadow cast across my kitchen door, across my kitchen door, across my kitchen door, across my kitchen door. Discovered that the microphone slides. The boom arm is not fixed, so I slid out of the frame. Let's move that back a little bit, like that. Happy cat? Can you am I fully in your frame now? Can you see me? He's watching. All right, figure that. This one. Take a moment here. Yay!
Yep.
Can you see all of me in this one? The boom slid forward, so I had to follow it. I moved it back. This song I want to make really sure that I am in tune for. This is a fairly... I can't be analytical about this. This is what happens, and I think a lot of older women will get it, will understand it, when they look into a mirror and there is a younger them who wanted something desperately and never understood why she couldn't keep it. That second pair of eyes, always looking back, and you can never reach her. This is a song where, again, I can't really talk about it analytically, but give me a second to tune here. Because as I have said before, I'm not a dainty picker. I wail on the guitar, so she will drift a little bit like that. And this is a song that is unapologetically called "Crazy Girl." And oh boy, do I miss my angel choir on this. Lauren doesn't do backing vocals. She calls them backing vocals, but they're not. They're actually they're equal and equally important and equally powerful vocal harmonies. And the Full Angel Choir, here we go, is on this song. And as I say, it's about duality. And let's see if I can not mess this up, because boy oh boy, don't want to do that. This crazy girl. Let's make sure we have the right tuning here. Yep, got it. Here we go. This is a waltz, one of two in a row. It's called Crazy Girl. These days when I look in the mirror, I don't understand what I see. And then I realize there are two pairs of eyes, both of them are looking at me. One pair belongs to the old woman, with illness and age carved so deep. The other belongs to a girl I once knew, and she only survives in my sleep. And the crazy girl sits in the window and sighs, and the memories reflect like the moon in her eyes. Well, she's hoping for answers she'd settle for lies, too long with her own inner violence. And the crazy girl listens to silence. Questions all over again, though I know that the answers won't change. And the fact I'm expecting a different result just probably proves that I'm strange. And I know I've been luckier than I deserve, failing as tight as I seem. The old woman would not trade the ending she got, but the young girl still caught in a dream. The crazy girl sits in the corner alone. She's afraid if the answers should they become known, would be too much to bear, and she'd sink like a stone. Oh, when it's they roll down the years, and the crazy girl's drinking her tears. To go home, won't you let her go home? And she needs to go home, won't you let her go home? And she needs to go home, won't you let her go home? And the poor crazy girl's going nowhere. So we stare at each other, the young girl and I. Both of our glances are blurred. The crazy girl's need to be visible now is a debt the old woman incurred. And I hope for tomorrow as I reach for my cane, the dream fades away in the distance. And the crazy girl's desperate, she's bringing so hard, for yesterday's looked in resistance. Crazy girl's trapped in a passionate dance, old music still echoes a ghostly romance. She will never break free, no one gave her a chance, and she may live forever or die. And the crazy girl laughs as the crazy girl laughs, and the poor crazy girl has forgot how to cry. That's one of those songs. One of those songs. Oh my, I was hearing Lauren on that like the whole time. Yeah, she's nodding. She sings on it on the album, so she knows. We have one more song for you. Brian, do we have time for that? It's about a 4-minute song, and it's this came from a.
You got plenty of time.
Oh, good. It came from a poem written 101 years ago by a brilliant Irish poet named William Butler Yeats. It is the most quoted poem in the English language, and most people could not tell you the name of it or where the line came from. The poem is called The Second Coming. It has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus, and it has everything to do with the rise of fascism. He saw it happening after the Second World War, and incidentally, they were also at the very tail end of a global pandemic that killed many, many people. That was the Spanish flu outbreak of 2018 and 2000. Freudian slip, 1918 and 1919. But Yeats saw this coming. The opening lines of the poem are, which I have lifted, they are his, the rest of the song is mine. The lines are, the couplet is, turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. A gyre is a vortex. You see them as in sinkholes in the ocean. You see them from the sky to the ground as tornadoes. They're whirlpools. The more they spin and the faster they spin, the wider they get. And the noise that is generated in the center of a spinning vortex is so loud that you can't hear anything except right where you're standing. Nothing penetrates. So going around and around in a circle inside that vortex, the falcon cannot hear the falconer calling him to safety from outside. And for me, this was a completely perfect metaphor for what has been happening in America, actually globally. The rise of fascism, racism, misogyny, just xenophobia in general, terror of the other, whether it's Black Americans or women or you name it, is on the rise globally. And I've got a mixed race granddaughter, so for me this is it's a doubly fierce moment in time, where we are at this moment of the storm, and we need to, as Lauren says, we need to manifest better than this. We really need to manifest better than what we've been doing. I'm going to try this without my angel choir, which is a little unnerving, but I'm going to try this. And as I say, the song is called Walk. On the album, you will hear the most unearthly lap steel guitar that you've probably heard since the Running on Empty tour in 1978. David is playing my crappy little $69 Rogue lap steel with no pedals and a replaced pickup. And he makes it sound like, well, it's in the fingers. It's not the instrument, it's in the fingers. Those are some fingers. And thank you, David. So this is Walk. Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's our set. We're at the sound field. Miss it.
Thank you. Thank you. That was really great. So I went ahead and in the chat there in Facebook, I posted the links for it's soundfieldband.com. And pardon me, the music's available there. Of course, you can listen to it on all your various streaming networks, wherever you get your music nowadays. But it's always really great if you can buy the music from the artist. So I encourage you to do that. And also Lauren Murphy, I put her website as well, laurenmurphymusic.com, and you can pick up the Psychedelics CD there. Let me see. I'm going to check the Facebook chat here. We have a lot of nice people. Julia and Ben and Bev Iris and people that we know. I'm just saying.
Hi, guys.
Didn't really see if we got any questions or not, but anyways, there were definitely people enjoying the music there. Let me see what else. Is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap up tonight?
Just that this has been an absolute joy, and I can't wait to get Lauren back out here again so that we can make more music. Because I
reach through the screen.
I know this is because I want all of you when we go in to record Ariel. You know, I did a very rough version of that and put it up on YouTube, and it's as rough gets. And it had been up for 6 minutes, and Vadim texted me going, "Let's do this. I'm in." I heard this is more orchestrated. Maybe how would you feel about a B3? And I said, You know, I said, but killer piano, and he was like, and harmony. He was like, you think? You know, so it's like, yeah. I'm already mentally gearing up to do the third CD, so it's going to be a while because we're building a house in Nevada and a recording studio, and so the cash flow will be a little different for a bit, but hey, we can always find a way to do this because I want my sister back so bad.
Yeah. Liba misses you too, Deb. I just wanted to let you know that.
Her daughter is the most amazing artist. I mean, some of the installation work and stuff that she's got pieces out there that are just jaw dropping. I mean, it's like, okay, this is an artist who knows how to catch the shadows as well as the light. That's not always easy. I tend to live in the shadows and the light's over there, so it tends to be one or the other for a lot of us. By the way, Happy Cat, you said earlier about how somebody will always, if you're an artist, somebody will always end up in your book or your song. Mm-hmm. I had a big oversized sweatshirt that was sent to me by my very first friend on Facebook, who I hosted for dinner here at one point. Horror writer by the name of Peter Straub. He wrote Ghost Story and did the Dead Zone with Stephen King. He's just a wonderful, wonderful writer. And his profile photo, this is back in 2009, his profile picture just showed, he's a big guy, 6'6", showed the front of his sweatshirt, and it said, "Careful, or you'll wind up in my novel." And I said, I need one of those. And I got sent one in a size triple XXXXL. It hangs down to my knees, and I just adore it. Every once in a while, I'll wear it out. Wear it outside. Yeah, careful, you'll end up in my song. Right, Lauren?
Absolutely.
Do not do it. We think you're crunchy and good with ketchup, boys. Don't mess with us, It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask, when you put somebody into your song, do you fictionalize it a little bit? Do you change it a little bit so that maybe they're not sure? Like the Carly Simon with "You're So Vain," nobody knew who that was about. But
not me.
Me neither. In my younger years, I used to, because I'd get self-conscious about it. And then I find that as I've gotten older, it's not really staying true. It's like Hemingway. You want to write about what you know, and you got to stay true to that art form. So if it offends the person that you wrote about, tough toodles.
I'll remember that when I write my book.
Definitely. Keep in mind. I mean, I've got long before we actually started recording as a band, and I've been a published novelist since 1987. I've got 19 published novels. I've edited two anthologies of short fiction about music. So this is a thing. One of the things that you have to learn, people say, well, oh yeah, I'm going to write a big old novel and get rich and famous. No, you're not, because you're going into it for the wrong reason. If you're a storyteller, you tell the story because it needs to come out, and you are in service to your story. It owes you absolutely jack nothing. You know, you owe it, not the other way around. So if you're going to, you know, oh, I'm just going to write a novel and sell it to the movie. No, you really probably you're not. Let's just put it that way. You know, in the same way for musicians, and you know, Lauren is one of the biggest examples of this I know. How do you build a career out of an art form? Show up for work. Be there. Put the time in. Write the songs. Craft them. Look around. See who's around you. People, great artists that you can play with. Just up and coming kids that you can play with. Make that, because you're serving the story you tell. That's what it's about.
It is.
You know?
Well, it's like I told you, Deb, before I left. You know, Judge always told me, play up, and it'll make you a better musician. And every time I come away from playing with you and Nick and Mark and Larry and Henry, I come home a little bit more seasoned because, yeah, y'all are better musicians than I am.
Well, we're different. I mean, and you're talking to somebody who suffers musically. I suffer from imposter syndrome cripplingly. I have no doubts at all about how good I am writing, you know, but I've been surrounded by so many world-class musicians in my life, you know, starting with my father, that it's like, what makes me think I can do this? You know, I can't do this. Everybody I'm playing with is better than me. I don't care. They're my songs, you know, and that's, you know, oddly enough, the only person I never get that with is Lindley. There's something about him where it's like, okay, let's play. Okay. Let's play. Yeah, it's a very zen thing, and the imposter syndrome disappears. Then it shows up later in the evening when I'm home alone going, oh, I just played with David Lindley and I sucked. Oh, yeah. But, you know, it's play up. Judge was not wrong there. It's like, you know, people around you, just, it makes you good when they're good.
It does.
You know, it's like, playing up to the level, and then just go from there, and then just go up, you know. But be real. The real is what keeps people coming back to the yard.
The real is what, and you know, Deb, you're the first person I ever co-wrote a song with. Judge would take my stuff and kind of arrange it and maybe say, you need a modulation here or strike this verse. He was really good at editing and arranging, but we never did any co-writing together. So that also, you know, it's about time.
Yeah.
That challenged me as a writer, made me a better writer.
But that was just like we were completely in sync writing that song. It was like, Liba came out and yelled at us because we were in the living room under her bedroom. We were keeping her awake. She came down and shouted at us. So we took our laptops and her Taylor and my Martin, and we went down into the basement in our glasses of Prosecco, and we finished the song. And the full story of that, as I say, is in the liner notes. So are all the lyrics, by the way. So if anybody wants to know what those songs say, those are in red. They're live links under the title of every song in the liner notes. Click on those; they'll give you the lyrics. And shout out to Fredlet, who just redid our website. She's fabulous. But thanks, guys. This has been completely amazing. Are we going to be eating into somebody else's time if we don't power down right now?
Well, no, we've got about 5 more minutes. We've got Stu Allen coming up at 6 p.m. And but yeah, this has been really great. Just been lovely having both of you. And I'd like to invite
again any damn time.
Invite you back to come again and do a full set. You know, I mean, each of you separately or together, if we could figure that one out. You know, if you come out here again, Lauren, I would love to see that. So
well, yeah, it'll happen.
Oh yeah, it'll happen. I mean, this last one that we did at the Sweetwater, this was initially supposed to happen in late December. And then, of course, early in December, when we had just started making plans for getting Lauren out here, you know, the third surge came up. The post-Thanksgiving surge, where everybody decided they had to go home and kiss their mommies, and people started dying all over the place. So we were locked down again. And whereas technically we could have done the show, it just sent a bad message. It was like, no, we're going to wait so that we're not projecting, hi, we're privileged puppies and we're like privileged white people with guitars and we can be out there and you can't. Ha ha. No, not a good idea. So we waited, and it turned out really well. Lauren, you shouted out to Dennis, didn't you? This
I did not, but I think I did, yeah.
You
But
did.
we should shout out again because Dennis has really been doing some epic work for both of us, and I love him.
This was okay. He's probably if when he gets stressed about it, it's me. I'm the one he gets to beat with a stick because I'm the one who suggested that he do us as a double dip, and the logistics because Lauren was mailing her discs out to the mailing list from Alabama, which let us just say has a spottier postal service than the Greater Bay Area, and it occurred to me well after the fact that it would have made more sense for you to ship your CDs out to us because the mailer costs the same to put 2 CDs in. I didn't know that until after we had done the mailing. I was like, God damn, next time we know. Next time
You learn these things.
It's like
Little tips.
it's like, wow, I can put a copy of the bucket list and TMOS into a mailer, and it's the same cost, which means I could have put Lauren's, which weighs even less than the bucket list because that was a double flap thingy. Oh, I screwed up, and I should have done it that way. But it's working out.
It is working out. It's great.
It's great. It's fabulous. I just wish you were here in the flesh. You and Kathleen, side by side, and but Lauren, they're not backing vocals. What you guys do, they're intertwined harmonies. You're not backing me. You're just there. It's an equal push to the story. We are equally in service to whatever the story of the song is. So it goes boom, and that's yeah. I mean, background vocals are things you mix in with auto-tune. No thanks. That's real deal over there. So it's like, yeah. Oh my.
Well, very good. Thank you guys. This has been great. It's been great to hear both of you and to get to chat and just to listen to you two talk about creating music together. I can't wait to be able to see that at some point soon, I hope. And once again, for everybody, it's laurenmurphymusic.com for Lauren's record and soundfieldband.com for the Soundfields record. And thank you both for being here today. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Want to do this one again? Oh yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll do this again real soon. And and thanks also to Dennis McNally for helping to arrange this. And he's always been a great assistant to me here on Deadheadland as well. Assistance. No, that'd be great. Dennis McNally's my assistant. Dennis, get me some coffee. No. He's been great assistance to me, helping me connect and get some good guests and good information to get out to the people. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, Dennis. And once again, everybody on Deadheadland, Deadheadland is supported by Deadheadland patrons. If you'd like to support us at patreon.com/Deadheadland, even just $1 a month would really help to keep Deadheadland going. And what we're doing here on Deadheadland, we're going to keep on doing live music as often as we can. And coming up in just about 5 minutes, we've got Stu Allen. So stick around. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Good night, guys.
Mwah.
Mwah.